Right. Cool.
Yeah, I can see it as live now.
Yep. Running. Bam. All right. Things are live. Well, let's run for a bit. Mics are all hot. Quickly do my social posts and such. So yeah, just feel free to mute or chatter as you wish, or they're the lack of.
Okie doke.
And yeah, the if you go onto my Twitch channel through the link in that, the stream should be up as well, hopefully.
Yeah, that's where you want to mute your speaker on that one. Otherwise, he'll double up.
Good call.
Yep, that 3-second delay will kill you.
Hey, Lorna, I saw your crafting post the other day. They're looking good, as in this afternoon as well. Looking good.
Yeah, I've literally just finished them, so that's what I was on my machine for.
What have you been working on?
So turning the all of the sashes of the Fallen Valley Vipers into scales that I'm wearing as a little asset sort of thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
Vipers didn't make it?
Yeah.
For this game, out of the 8 of us that attended.
Right.
Wait, so your character did survive or didn't, or
Mine did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still kicking.
Yeah, it was a tough summit for the Valley, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm literally just writing in the Iron Valley Discord, like, I kept telling people I didn't want to put any more names onto the shrine, and everyone looked at me and said bet, basically. So many names.
Well, Luke, you've managed to gather you managed to get 2 Iron Valleys and 1 Greenwheel, the 2 realms that probably got fucked the most at this summit.
It's the Depression Party plus Scott and Luke.
I mean,
at this
look,
point.
Here's the thing.
Trauma
Okay,
tribe.
here's the thing. I'm in like a panic party on my own. And I finally got a Lorona Marion on the podcast. So far as I'm concerned, things are fine.
Okay.
It's the Depression Party plus the silly little guy.
Yeah. plus the 2 silly little guys doing nothing at all.
Hey guys, how's it going? My friends have died.
That's neat. We're gonna go over here and like have fun and just do things that you don't need to look at it right now. Just don't worry about it. This one.
Interesting.
All right. There we go. Whew. Also, hot damn. Fuck it. When did that happen? This channel's at 42 followers.
Congratulations.
Last time I looked at so now it's a 43. Damn it.
I just realised I wasn't following you.
40.
Yeah, I just followed it there.
Christ. I swear the last time I looked at this, it was like 36. What the shit?
See, normally I just watch this on YouTube, so I'm like, Twitch.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm just imagining we're gonna hear you keep screaming randomly during the stream every time someone follows.
I mean, look, so 50 is the minimum that you need follower-wise in terms of followers to get into the affiliate tier. And then it's just X amount of hours streamed within a month. And I think it's an average of 3 viewers across it all.
Yeah.
And you hit affiliate, and then the channel can make money.
Yep.
Not that I'm planning, like it won't, because I've looked into that stuff. It's like, yeah, it has to be making like X amount of money per month, or it doesn't make anything. It's also just like a whole step. So I'm looking at this like, it's scary.
I'm technically an affiliate on Twitch. I just haven't streamed in like a year and a half, so
Damn.
And yep, cool. So I looked at my phone, and it's like, oh yeah, 4 viewers. I look back at my phone, 11 viewers. Lovely. Love that.
hooray for people.
Streaming still scares me. It hasn't stopped. Oh, excuse me. All right.
Is there music going on? Apparently, the music's a bit loud.
Ooh, there is music going on. I will turn that down. My apologies. So, stream's probably going to sound a little glitchy for a second. Oh, I see. I moved the slider the wrong way. That's what I did.
Hold up.
Is there a slow clap sound effect I can play, or?
No.
We can just make it.
Oh well.
No, it's just so because I've got so much like inputs going into things, it just lags stuff around because of my voiceover software. It's normal. It always does it. It's fine. It's literally the equivalent of driving a car that is like 80% rust, that's like choking out smoke and going, nah, it's fine. It
It
runs.
sounds
fine.
like me
What
living
could
in
go
my
wrong?
body on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's what the Iron Valley said at last summit.
Oh, God. Hot take.
Spicy.
All right, I'm gonna go grab my water and probably go to the bathroom very quickly, and I'll come right on back, and I think we'll get this thing kicked off.
Yeah, water. I'm looking at my desk with like 4 different drinks, none of them are water.
I can see
Are they all
my
different?
Pavlova vodka down there, and that's what I'm going to be drinking.
Different energy drinks, Long.
Nah, I've got alcoholic, coffee, soft drink, and tea.
Sorry, I got nothing.
Could go for a cup of tea right now. I'm already sitting down, so nope.
Yeah.
So has anyone had the chance to do like an well, not like a meetup with their realm, crap, I can't English.
I've got like 4 different meetups for that are either I'm discussing, like sorting it out, or they've already been booked in, but they're for like warband sect sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm booked out. But the Iron Valley warband, the Volsung, have a sanctioned event coming up next month, which just got put on Facebook today.
Mhm.
So
Looking forward to that.
Ooh.
good. It's a
Ooh,
memorial
20.
for those that have been lost.
Greenwheel has a hunt coming up, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little nervous. This is
What
going to
can
be
go
the
wrong?
third time we're facing these guys.
Possibly go wrong.
I would say.
Absolutely nothing. Especially not in my experience.
Chat can stay there on that device. Get my notes up on this one. Bang. All right. If we're all ready.
Think so.
Ready as ever.
Oh,
Yep.
just cracking all the bones in my body real quick. Oh. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the 15th episode of Wanderer's Guide to Esterra, the Concord LARP podcast. I'm your wandering guide, Luke. Yeah, we're at 15. Technically, this would be 16, but technical screw-ups with the previous thing. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It still pains me. I will live. It'll be fine. All right, right at the top. Downtime submissions are open as of coming up 48 hours ago. You got 2 weeks to do it. It came online on the 13th of October 2023. They'll be up for 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to do it. All the link for it is on the Facebook page for Concord LARP. Go check it out. I did mine at 3 a.m. Thought I screwed something up. Turns out I didn't. I did the correct thing, so I'm fine. That's what I get for jumping the gun. It's fine. That's a thing. We got a sanctioned event coming up that is open to everyone, put on by the Volsung of the Iron Valley, coming up in late November. Information for that can be found on the Facebook page for Concord LARP. Yeah, you can't miss it. It's one of the newer ones, at least as of the time of this recording, so go check that out. There is a couple of other Concord related things happening like this year-ish, but I believe some of them are sanctioned events that are closed, at least that I'm aware of. I know there's a Greenwheel hunt happening. Right, the New Year's Day event for Concord LARP. Information has been released about it. Again, you can find that on Sam Bowden's post on the Concord LARP Facebook page. That does list when the tickets are going on sale, how many tickets are available for people in general, also the date that things are happening on, field availability for camping overnight, when it starts, when it stops. It does not mention the ticket price there, but if you scroll down through the comments, Sam does answer someone's question about that, in that the tickets will be $25. So, at least I'm pretty sure it was $25 the last time I checked. It hopefully still is. But yeah, make sure you go check that out. There may be a staggered release of tickets, as has happened in the past. It is more than likely what will happen. would seem, I would guess, but still keep your ear to the ground for that one.
I think there's another release happening a couple of days after.
So keep an eye. I believe there's going to be roughly 120 something tickets open to general people. There's a percentage reserved for the team, and there's a percentage specifically for the NPC team. So if you really want to go and can get there, get your ticket. I've gone to every one of these so far. The couple times we've had them, I've really enjoyed them. They've been a lot of fun. Food's always been really, really good. The vibes has always been surprisingly nice. Like, it has a very different feel from regular Concord, even though it is a sanctioned event. It's a good time. It's also a good time to dip your toes if you're playing a new character. It's a really good time for that, because it's just vibing for the most part, and a lot of people tend to be there. It's a good time. I like it. I would recommend it. Character submissions for next summit, as in Winter Summit 2024, I believe will be open before the end of this year, from what I've seen. So that's going to be open pretty quick. It also doesn't really, I guess they can open them a lot earlier because there's not, they don't have to worry about character bags anymore. It's just packs. So, and that, it's also stuff you need to track more than anything else. So that's pretty solid. Yeah, when that opens, submit your character, do the character things that you need to do. XP expenditure, unlearning skills, relearning skills, character rewrites for new characters, all that kind of thing. You know the drill. A lot of you all know the drill by this point. Do the thing. When the thing pops up, do the thing. Right. I believe that is everything I have to mention at this time. So, with that, this episode we're going to do, as the title would suggest, we're going to do a bit of post-summit kind of aftermath talk through.
From the bonding?
Yeah. This was a big summit. Some of us got a little hint before the summit started by a few days in a Discord chat with the team, or some of them. It was mentioned that the summit would have about 2.5 summits worth of content packed into it. From what I observed and what I felt, it did. It was and that's not even the big things. There's stuff behind the scenes as well, little things. This summit was nuts. Things were everywhere. Emotions were everywhere. Stuff was everywhere. Oh boy, yeah, it was a lot. We're gonna get into some of it tonight. And of course, I can't give the perspective on everything that happened at the summit. Not even close.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have guests. This time we have 4 guests. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to have them here. Yeah, so go through the order. Yeah, welcome, Caitlin. Hit it off.
Hello. I'm Caitlin. I'm from Greenweald. I play Rook Missanacht. And I'm a Hounds Priest, and as of this summer, I'm now the High Priest of Stalia, which I did not plan on going into this summit. I only found out that it was up for grabs, literally the morning before things were due to start, so...
Nice. Excellent. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I don't actually have a character at the moment. Bjorn died in the first major. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty new to LARPing, and Concord was my first ever game. So I had a lot invested in that character, having been at Concord since game 1. And I was actually struggling with the concept of possibly dying. And then I heard Skittles at your last podcast that it's not about winning, it's about playing the game. My character had a very profitable business, the Striving in Strivington. It was a level 5 business for those that didn't know.
Fuck!
And now it's back to a level 1. It has nothing. So, yeah, so that's a loss of
Holy
funds for the
crap.
Iron Valley. Yeah. However, when I heard Skittles talking like that, it's like, and even talking to him OC, it's like, well, the game needs to have consequences. So I couldn't have a last will or testament, even though I did feel targeted that a thing like a tavern couldn't be passed on to somebody in the winds or in the rule set. But that's okay. I was a very vocal proponent of in war there is death. And I was nominated to be Field Marshal. I was asked, given the opportunity to be Field Marshal, which I took up and with relish, and I wanted to have a major win, a complete victory, which we did. And I have to say, it was a lot of fun being out there. So, yeah, I'm sure I'll talk more on those topics as we go.
And you are
So next
name-wise, because you skipped over that entirely.
Yeah, well, I suppose, well, I was Bjorn, I did say that, so I haven't really introduced my new character. Keithsporin is the name, which is fatherless. I did want to be called Bastard, but I was talked out of that. So, yeah, I look forward to unveiling that character at the Iron Valley sanctioned event coming up.
Excellent. Yeah, lovely to have you, Daniel. Thanks. Yeah, Lon.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Lon. I play Revna, the Raven of Brothersley. I'm currently the champion of the Valley, and I'm also the Reeve, or for those who don't speak Iron Valley, the leader of the Valley Vipers Warband.
Excellent.
How many are left in that warband again?
Well, those that attended Summit, I think there were 4 of us. We do have some more behind the scenes
Oh,
people
thank
that
God.
do come and go from summits, and I've heard there's a couple of people wanting to come back that were original Vipers, which were cool because I was not one. Yeah, so the Vipers aren't dead and gone yet, as much as people want or believe. We're still kicking.
Bill Slytherin.
Yep. Excellent. I actually do need to get in contact with the Vipers at some point for some stuff. But
well, you know who to talk to.
I have a few people to talk to, actually.
I know.
Lovely. Excellent. And rounding out for the first time, a Laronimirian character player. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, I'm Scott. I play Victor Vogel, the head surgeon of the Passagefield Hospital and the current leader of the Troop of Word and Wit that originates from Laronimir. And yeah, I'm glad to be here as your first Laronimirian guest.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm very annoyed that it just kept not happening. But we're here. So, first up, let's kind of do the first big question. Because, you know, we kind of know how we're feeling post-summit, but I'm curious of what you were feeling going into the summit, sort of, you know, pre-Winds of the World and then Winds of the World dropped. Let's go reverse order. Scott, you wanna kick us off here? How are you feeling?
I was feeling great. I used the couple hours that I had spare at work one day, sitting at the office, to just go through the winds and got very engrossed in it. I was looking forward to all the content that people had to work with from every realm, and I was particularly excited to see what I was going to be able to contribute to the war in Wayland. When I read that line.
Excellent. How do you think the troop was sort of faring going into things?
We had a bit of a loss, like in the month or two leading up to Summit. We had a bit of a division as we wanted to make our presence known in more realms, as it was meant to be it is actually meant to be a band that is wandering throughout the entirety of the Concord. So yeah, we decided to make our presence known and chose the Valley as our first victim.
They'd suffered enough this summit.
I mean, hey, the troop could be there to brighten things up. Who knows, right?
Did
No?
they?
I mean,
Lon, did they?
I know basically the troop single-handedly stopped my sect from just dying in the arse because everyone else died. So I don't know. I quite enjoy. I mean, the people in the troop are lovely as well, and I enjoy their presence. But yeah, thanks for not letting the promise go dying somewhere. So thank you.
Oh no, I'm looking at the chat and some of the green wielders are here.
Yeah, of course. You're
Pressure's
welcome.
on now.
I always welcome my neighbours. Absolutely. Right, so I guess then a smaller follow-up on that one, Scott. Because you were voted in the head surgeon in the Winter Summit, correct?
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. So, what were your thoughts on the hospital going into the summit?
I don't usually have thoughts on the hospital. It's catch the bricks as they fall out of the chimney and try and put them back before it falls over.
That is an amazing analogy. I really like that. Let that be known. The the duty of head surgeon is head brick catcher. Just nothing but masonry. It's accurate. I hate how accurate it is.
And it also includes being head tent pole stabilizer.
Oh, yeah. Good old tent. It's gone to the big tent pavilion in the sky now. At its last hurrah.
Yep. May she rest easy at Pox.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Or not.
As the case may be, yeah.
I feel like wishing something to rest easy at Pox is like you're just wishing the impossible.
Well, no, it's going out in the blaze of glory, right?
Yeah, it's not going to rest easy though.
Yeah, it's going out loud and angry. Excellent. Yeah. So, topping on Lon, your sort of both character and like player, I guess. Probably should have said that for Scott as well. Yeah, fair point. Going into the summit, because obviously, you know, got a couple of Valley folk here. There's probably a lot of opinions on the Valley situation in various angles.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers, Iron Valley.
But we talked about before the summit, so I'm not going to get super depressed on you guys yet. But no, going into it, I was out of character. I was so keen. I had lots of cool little ideas that I wanted to implement. I was just really cool to get back in the world of Esterra as well. Like, the trainings don't do it. Like, the sense of immersion that you get at Summit, you just don't get that from the trainings. Trainings are good, but sometimes you just want to be completely immersed in not being yourself for 3 days, and I was very ready for that. So I'd also done a lot of crafting leading up to it. I made a little memorial that got used, lots of little viper sashes for my warband, and just other various bits and bobs. Story
viper sashes.
Yeah.
That's
know who to stick away from. Well, wait till you see what I've cooked up now after this summit. But yeah, so no, I was really keen going into it. In character, I had actually Revna had done some travelling through Wayland trying to bring back the one of the bodies of the fallen. So she actually came into Summit with five others, so including General Thorne, Solar, Winfred, and Kenwolf. We'd actually gone, the 5 of us, to get Balin's body back, so that's why we were all looking a bit under the weather and beaten up, because we had been. So she was just ready to get shit done and get it on with. Had a couple of plans and they all followed through, which is why I'm now champion and a Reeve. So yeah, it was a lot.
Definitely is. So I guess then, being a part of the Vipers, like, how do you think the Vipers were feeling going into the summit pre-wins and post-wins?
We'd had a bit of change in the Vipers. So the summit before, obviously Yorm sadly passed. So we were contending with a lot of change. Our Rock and our Reeve had died suddenly on basically the first morning of summits. So that took a lot out of us. So summit before last, we announced our new Reeve, which was Agni, the surgeon, and she did an awesome job, but Amelia decided to retire Agni as a character, and we found out the week before Summit, so we were kind of contending with 2 Reeve changes in less than a season, which was hard.
Woof.
So, yeah, it's been tough.
Fair. Yeah, woof. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
Daniel, what were your player and character thoughts pre and post wins before the summit?
Pre and post wins. So, I was very IC and OC. Things were coming to a head because I was really the third, and we were wanting new members, and we were growing. And during the off season, we had built the little striving, which was something that I did own. Hence, those of you that visited the little striving, I hope would have had a good time. I was very excited about that. So that was my main thing. I was ready to go. So that's all I can say on that one, really. Ready to go. I was firing. I think on one level I was ready to die as well. Yeah, I haven't looked too deep into it yet. Maybe my character wanted to do, I'm not quite sure. Yes, that's it, I think. Before wins.
Fair enough. Caitlin, thoughts pre and post wins?
We were definitely before wins. We were definitely a bit worried about. For Greenwild, we were one of the things that we were doing was a bunch of us were looking at traveling to the Graven Glade, and already we were kind of hearing whispers about a potential the potential next big bad compared to to follow up the Butcher from who we managed to hopefully finally kill in game 4. You may have seen mentions of a certain V word in chat already. So after the Graven Glade, we had found basically remnants and signs of a creature known as the Van Ghoul. And looking at that, it's like, oh dear, is this what we're gonna be dealing with next?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this, as tends to be my natural way. I just sort of accumulate information very easily. I learned a lot of spooky stuff about that situation over the summit, just here and there. Crap. Greenwheel Batman is is very scary.
More like Greenwheel Dracula, which has unfortunately brought out a side of the Greenwheel that I shouldn't have been surprised to see, honestly, but I'm surprised that they came out in as full force as they are coming out, honestly.
Yeah, absolute bat demon energy from that thing. It's
Yes,
spooky.
definitely. But yeah, in addition to that, like for Rook herself, like going in was like she's been doing a lot of work with we had been reevaluating sorry, I'm trying to find the words. One day I'll know how to word, but so we were looking at revising the tenets of the original Artabazani doctrine for the church. So that was one of the in-character events that I took part in and I was able to be a big part of. So yeah, I was looking forward to going to Summit to potentially participate in more of that, like more stuff with the church. I was definitely not expecting to be as involved with the church as I ended up being, though.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, especially with like the summit you ended up having going forward. Like, woof.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not entirely sure what was happening with the Stalia High Priest position. Were they like I know that the elections are typically held in winter, so like did the previous one die the last summit, or?
Well, actually, hang on. Let me think, because I know.
I believe half of the high priests are in the summer and half are in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this election, there were 4 elections.
Oh no! Apparently, the player wasn't able to attend.
Oh,
that's what I'm reading in the chat right now.
Ah, okay.
That
okay, thank you.
Fair enough. All right. Had a little slight technical snafu with Daniel, but we got that sorted.
Hooray! No more.
Well, I don't know. I hope I'm not being all glitchy now. Does that sound?
No,
yes, a lot better.
Now. Yeah, you were a little robotic there for a bit. I could still understand what you were saying. I don't know if other people could. Things happen.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, got lost to the digital void there for a hot second.
It's never a stream without something going.
No, it's always something.
And thank you.
The eternal
for having me
machine
back in the
is
job.
Yeah, of course. Like, specifically when I heard you drop, I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, let me pull that up real quick, just to be ready. Oh boy, yeah. So for myself, kind of going into this one, so as some are aware, I don't do a whole lot at the summit, really. In terms of like big play stuff, like being a non-com, I'm not out on the battlefield. But I do a lot of networking. I do economic stuff. At least I have for a bit now. And I do a lot of like advising, info gathering, and sort of general brainstorming and researching. That's like a big thing I do. Like I don't do any one thing. I just sort of put my hands in all the pies and just sort of spread my influence around a lot. But with the Winter Summit this year, I kind of got exactly what I asked for, because I wanted to get involved in some game. I wanted something cool to do, and through my own eagerness, in a way, as a player, I got exactly what I wanted. So my wound from the wolf in the astral, that situation continued. So I was kind of looking forward to it. Like, for a lot of the trainings, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die. Like, I was like mentally preparing, like, no, I'm gonna get a list of stuff to do, and if I don't complete it, I'll die. Like, it's fine. I was playing around with like symptoms and different things like that, just messing people around, having a bit of fun.
In the immortal words of Ralph Wiggum, in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in very bad danger. We may possibly have had a Dresden situation on our hands.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've
but,
only heard the stories.
Yeah, but interestingly, got to the summit. Well, okay, post wins, I should say, because like pre-wins, it was like that was that whole thing. Post wins, just looking at the Wayland situation, just like internally screaming at the number 40,000 bearing down
Yeah.
on Wayland.
I love how they didn't have enough physical chips in the war chamber to represent just what size that force is. Like, they stacked everything up and it still wasn't enough.
You would have thought they would have done like, it's like they would like have like one of the like the ST running, it like goes to like a little box, opens it, pulls out like a couple of really big chips and just like slaps them down.
Or maybe just like a
paint an entire
Warhammer figure
poker.
to represent like maybe 10,000 troops and just like put 4 of them instead of the chips. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking surely they can just get out a new poker set, paint them all black, and just put them right on Wayland and be like, "Good luck, guys."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some stuff that can be done, but yeah, that was a wild number. Seeing that was crazy. Like half the Concord, well, not half. Like I'd say, yeah, over half the Concord was like on fire, basically. You know, for want of a better term, you had Laronomir in revolt.
Literally on
against the government.
fire.
Yeah, you had Laronomir on fire. You had Wayland invading. You had Iron Valley, like culture getting Lego dismantled. Like I imagine it's like the Lego advertisements, but in reverse.
Yeah,
Just
rip
taking
daylight.
buildings apart. Just 2 big tentacles come down and just.
Yeah, just like that.
Ah!
It's like, oh, it's not great.
Careful
Meanwhile,
bringing up tools in this conversation. A lot of the Green Wild are watching. I don't trust those guys.
I've come across worse. It's fine. Yeah, you had Greenwheel.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, we had
I'm watching
Greenwheel in
you
a
guys.
civil war, or not civil war. That's very much overblowing it. Like a small, I would call it a small schism. It was a small schism of opinion.
Hmm.
And then you had Andash recovering from a war, and then trying to improve positive relations with locals, whilst also having the Idrian Cabal be the Idrian Cabal, and having an army completely blockading one of our own, which is not great, all whilst Elsevier had started to make their way down to Andash. Like, there's, like, yeah, 3/5 of the Concord was on fire. The other 2 were, like, dealing with internal issues. I mean, you could say Laronomir was dealing with an internal issue, but, like, I would call that pretty damn significant, all things considered. Yeah, post summit was post wins, whole thing. A lot of it didn't really concern me per se. I had some information I knew I'd be needing to get to people, and then sort of just before like I was amazed going into this. I wasn't as nervous as I usually am. I was like, coming into summits, I'm usually a little on edge because like I'm still not super used to camping. Getting around the passage itself is still a thing for me. It's like I wasn't as nervous going into this one. I was just kind of like mentally loosey-goosey. It was good.
That's the vibe.
It was nice. Just sat down, chatted with some people in the morning. Like, it was hot on the Friday. Like, that Friday sucked.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I went to go nap in my tent and it was impossible. I was so sweaty. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm allergic to the cold. So like if I'm like sweating to the point like where I'm wearing a single layer of clothing, you know that shit's bad.
Yeah, even just like trying to put tents up in that weather, like, yeah.
It was
At least the
hot.
rest of the weekend didn't stay that way.
Yeah, the
So,
rest of the weekend was actually kind of nice.
Mm.
It's good. It was a
Yeah.
good and the nights weren't too horrifically cold either. Like the past couple of summer summits now have been horrid at night. Or sorry, the one, I should, because of the 3 we've had, the first summer summit was warm at night because we had, well, 1, it was in mid-October, and 2, there was still a bunch of fires going, so everything stayed warm ambiently, so it was kind of alright. The next summer summit at night was horrid because it was dry and cold, so it was just the absolute worst. I hated it.
I've learnt main lesson I've taken away from Concord is always bring 2 weighted blankets. I don't care how I don't care if it's a summit. If it's a summer summit, always bring 2 weighted blankets.
Yeah, you need to create that seal. Like, it does so much. Just
In
having
saying
the
that, I
seal.
realised on the last day that I had the windows open in my tent the entire weekend, through the evenings and all, and In saying that, before last summer, summer before last, I invested in a really good sleeping bag that goes down to like -12 or something. Very much worth the money. I was snug as, so yeah.
Yep.
Recommend.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the first, like, when I started coming to Concord, I was looking at it, I was like, I'm getting a sleeping bag. I'm just going to get a winter sleeping bag. And I bought it, I think, from like Kmart or Big W for like 60, 70 bucks. And it's been perfect the whole way through. Absolutely perfect. It's crazy how good that thing is. It's not even very thick either. It's just the perfect, like, construction. It's held up. It's amazing. I think we can agree the summit was a thing. There was a lot, over 30 deaths. Yuck.
22 of the valley. Let me just remind everyone.
Yep.
8 from the Greenweald.
Yeah.
Uller and Marians.
30%, yeah. 30% in the
and
valley.
the child assassination.
Yes.
We
Can't
don't
forget
talk
that.
about the child assassination.
Right. Which, by the way, almost could have been 2 people.
True.
Because
True.
the initial target could have also died if things went poorly. Yeah, Brazil was the secondary target in the chain of things. God, I shouldn't laugh. I should not laugh at that situation because it does
Okay,
suck.
laughing is a valid coping mechanism.
No.
Oh, you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
So you don't cry if nothing else.
It is like, it's painful, but it is funny. It is kind of funny. But yeah, so what? So let's go. Yeah, let's start with the spicy one. Lon, we'll kind of start you off with this one. What are a couple of your favorite moments from this summit?
I was thinking on this earlier, and there are so many of... I haven't got one standout favourite moment, but there are so many just little small things that made me smile or made me happy inside, or just, I don't know, like, obviously getting all of the goals that you wanted to have for Summit met in the first day. That's pretty great. Some of the things that, especially when my warband were talking about electing a new Reeve, some of the things that people said were just so nice. So shout out to all my Vipers for being fucking good eggs. I don't know, lots of new friends. So Revna and Godric had a really good summit together. Just Godric was an awesome support, and we had so many little wholesome moments between myself and Cameron, who plays Godric. So that was great. Also, so many good vibes at the Little Striving. So Daniel and everyone else that worked on it have done a fantabulous job with that. So many. I mean, it helped that my tent was literally a meter away. That was a good help. But just so many laughs and stories told, and yeah. And I can't wrap up what I have to say on this topic without mentioning Kyle and Brad's backup characters when Thorn and Deary died. Bill and Ben, the military men. That's
Right, I forgot about
hilarious.
that.
It was so good. Like I fully went into that evening expecting, because Revna's a funerary priest, among other things. So I full on rocked up expecting to sing dirges and tell of those that have fallen and be super depressing, because apparently that's my personality now when I'm in character. And it got to 5 minutes in and I just put my book of stories away because I'm like, this is better. Like, I in and out of character haven't laughed that hard in many a year, so that's probably top of my many favourite moments.
That's very fair. Good lord. I completely forgot about Bill and Ben. I completely forgot about it.
What a hoot. My two favourite idiots. One thing that got me was that someone made the mistake of telling them that Reeves were akin to lords in Bordevar. So anytime any of the Reeves walk past, they'd salute. And because we're not used to people saluting us, we'd just, like, not say anything. And at one point, I didn't realise they were saluting me. And for about 6 minutes, I think, they were just standing there. And I was, like, not even aware that they were just standing there staring at me and saluting. Yeah, it's a meme now. In all our chats, we've got a little like salute emoji. It's now our favourite one. So
it's really funny.
So good. It's so good.
It's just like, we're going to commit to this bit for 6 minutes.
So
That's
good.
wild. I love that so much. Fair. Good lord, my cheeks hurt because I've smiled so hard at that.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't laughed that hard in so long. I needed it. I think the rest of the valley needed it as well. So.
No, absolutely.
Good times.
Scott, thoughts? Favorite couple of moments from the summit? Yeah, what do you got?
Getting my letter as my duty as head surgeon sent off to Wayland with like less than 10 minutes to go was one hell of a rush. But I don't think it gets topped by the whenever like we had people coming back from a conflux and there was, you know, either a reasonable amount of unknowns or an expectation of the worst, and just seeing, you know, 20 or so people show up and be like, yeah, we're sort of here to just help, because these are, and more often than not, it wasn't people of the same realm, which was the real cool thing to see. I know that when the Hounds priests, I think, went on their conflux, on the second night, we had a bunch of Valley folk and Bordavarians and Andashi sort of waiting there, ready to just deal with whatever came back through, whether or not that was magical healing or spiritual healing or physical healing. Everyone was, or even some of the more vicious injuries like Butcher's Mark or Butcher's War Mark, I think it is. Having everyone just ready was very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Same for the night before as well, when when Greenwield had to help lock down passage, like for the conflux that happened that night. Like, was it the Iron Valley who were trying to escort a thing to the Shard Circle?
Yep.
Yeah, like just the whole like Concord being able to be united and working together to support each other was really nice to see, and we definitely needed it that second day after all of those deaths. So
I also love the stereotypical "don't look over there or you'll die," and everyone goes, "Huh, what?" and looks over there. And it's like, oh man.
I love the jokes that came from that later of like, oh, we could have just had Dahab do it, because like you can't die if you can't look at it. I mean, it ended up being a very different thing, but that was still like, that was a moment where I'm like, Oh my god, that actually is like 1,000 IQ play. Like by accident. It's really funny. God, fair, yeah. Also, yeah, I 100% agree, Scott, with like the rush of getting paperwork done like near the deadline. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's the good stuff. Right, and was this the letter from the night surgeon?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, what was the herb count at the end of that?
1 second, I have that right here. It was. Which letter is it? It is that one. I think it's that one. Yes, it was that one. The total count was 33, 56. 74, 87, 92 herbs.
Right, and this was the like needed medical supplies basically for the front, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
But lords, 90. Oh, that's
That's crazy.
horrifying.
Yep. There was a lot of work put into that. There was a lot of work put into that, and I can't thank Robin and Amelia enough for helping me, and also I can't believe Emily for helping me get that done. That was such a massive play from all those guys, and I couldn't feel any better about the people that I worked with getting that done.
Yeah, it's nuts. Because what was there a requested number specifically? Or was
It was give us specific potions in specific quantities, otherwise there's no point.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Sorry. Caitlin. Couple
Yes.
what do you got?
I have two moments. One was requested specifically just on account of how funny it was. So night 2 after the Hounds Priest got back from their conflux, so Rook was dragged up for tequila night, and suddenly someone comes up to the tent and says, there's a bunch of doctors and mages trying to get through the portal. So to this day I still have no idea what the fuck was going on, but 6 shots of tequila, Rook had no shits to give, just charged up and told all these doctors, yes, tequila Rook, best Rook. Yeah, just charged up and went, listen, look, just go home, we've had enough dying today, just go. And I was told later that poor Amelia had to hold off like 15 doctors trying to get, not doctors, not mages trying to get through the portal. So I still don't know what the fuck was happening, but that was just a funny moment that I have fond memories of. But yeah, in less chaotic moments, for me the best moment was kind of getting into my groove as High Priest and like realizing, oh shit, I can actually do this. Like being able to handle my responsibilities, coming to know what it meant to be High Priest and like being able to going to Skittles to like for my vision, being able to go, okay, this is what this means. I need to communicate this to all these people, and being able to handle it. It was really satisfying, and I just really enjoyed feeling like I was able to make a difference at Summit. I didn't go in with any particular goals, except mainly just to try and hold the wheel together. Like, yeah, like a lot had been happening, and like there's still a lot that is still happening. But yeah, like I would not have expected to be able to pull up the stuff that I did this summit, and
Fair.
who told me about the high priest position and encouraged me to go for it. At the same time, I need to stop running for positions I'm not qualified for, but I do feel qualified to do this now.
It's good. It's very good.
Stop
Yeah.
anyone else before.
Absolutely. So I'll take the next one, and then we'll have Daniel polish that one off with the other Iron Valley perspective. So I've been trying since I started coming to Concord. So I've now attended 5 summits of the 6 that I've ran. I wasn't at the first one. I've been trying to get a title for that entire time. I've stood for the Archmage a couple times. I've stood for Senator. For the summit just gone, I also stood for High Historian and for Headmaster of the School of Embers. And yeah, definitely big moment was not on the first night, because my plans never go things never go according to plan for me on the first night. It's just a rule of thumb at this point. Standing for High Historian and not getting it, which sucked. But at the same time, like, everyone that stood for the position for High Historian gave incredible speeches. Colin coming in with the power slide for his was great. Gave an incredible speech. Absolutely deserved to get that position. But then the next night, having an absolute whirlwind of stuff I needed to do the entire day, to doing the big arcane ritual the Sunday night, surviving it, and like not dying, because that was a thing, and then rushing to Senate, and then getting the position. Again, next to 2 other candidates also gave excellent speeches, had great talking points. But yeah, finally getting a title after 5 of the almost 5 summits was terrifying, but also like, oh, I'm glad it finally happened. That was great. I was very, very, very happy to have that. Also, getting some great feedback before the summit from someone just mentioning, like, yeah, your speeches that I've seen so far, at least for the last summit, or the summit before, I think it was, haven't been, whilst you've been very honest and very direct, they're not super positive. So I sort of flipped the script, changed to positivity, and that seemed to have a pretty good effect. I was much more happy with my speaking ability this past summit as well. So that was great. And linked to that for the second thing was one of the people that stood for High Historian on the second night. I had a chat with them on the Monday, and they were a bit dejected and a bit upset they didn't get it. And then having that conversation with them, basically saying, you know, and like having other people back me up, like, I've been trying to get a title for 5 summits. Like don't stop. Like, if you want to go for a title, don't stop. Keep pushing, keep doing it. Gave some tips of, you know, show your worth in the position, talk to people that are in positions, like, learn what you can. Just like getting to be the person that encourages someone to like strive forward and sort of reach higher felt really, really good. Because yes, I had that from people as well, but like it was very interesting being on that other side, having been the person that got the title, and then sort of having the privilege to help this person, because I know exactly how they feel, and then having them like start to ask some questions about some magic stuff, and then like being able to answer them, and then encouraging more ideas like that was great. I really liked that. Just getting to do that was good, because that's the kind of thing I enjoy doing. I like encouraging people. I like pushing them to do cool stuff, because you can always do cool stuff. It's also very character appropriate, considering like my character is very much influenced by Panoply at the moment to a pretty big degree, and is naturally seemingly a very positive part of Panoply in the whole encouraging to achieve your goals, sort of shoot for the stars kind of vibe. It was kind of fun to sort of accidentally play that out in a really positive way. I was really happy with that. On top of the absolute panic, also, I will throw in a third one here, just because I was happy. Ever since the change to apothecary rules, that apothecary is now sort of, you can make this number of potions, and then you get the chance of like receiving an apothecary wound, basically its own traumatic wound. Making 9 potions in one go, and I got the wound I wanted, because one of the examples they gave was crushed hands, and I immediately on seeing it, I'm like, oh, I want the crushed hands. Give me the crushed hands. And I got them. I was so happy.
Crushed hands.
I got my crushed hands.
So many people that had that.
I was so happy. Like this, like I'm standing there, like handing in all the ingredients. And he's like, all right, there's Oberon. Like, all right, yeah, here's all your potions. And looks down and he's like, oh, and you better get this sorted. And he hands me the card and he's like, yep, you got crushed hands. It's like, yes. And so many people around me were giving me weird looks. Like, why are you happy? Because I wanted it.
There's a
Yeah,
certain amount of satisfaction that comes from getting wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I went out twice on confluxes and ended up in surgery twice, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Also, quite often some really cool roleplay happens around that as well. So
so that was a lot of fun. It was a little risky considering my character situation in terms of like health stuff kind of being up in the air a little. So I was like, this maybe wasn't the best move, but it's fine. So I went off with Ragnar or Alex, and like went over back to my tent, got all the potion fizz reps done up, and we're just shooting the shit. We're just having a conversation, like out of character, which is neat. Got all that done, and I was like, all right, here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna scream like at the top of my lungs, and then you're gonna grab me by the shoulders and you're gonna walk me out of the tent, because I'm gonna take 2 damage and take another damage if I or anyone else manipulates my hands at all, and I will drop into bleed out immediately. It's like, all right, so get it done. I count it down. I scream, grabs me by the shoulders. I like sidle the way out of the tent, start making my way, and I've just got my hands like out in front of me, fingers like stiffened at weird angles. Just go like, ow, 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 ow. It's just
ow, that's fantastic.
It's just really funny. Like walking back into the hospital after having left it for my previous stuff being dealt with for the day, and going like, hey, I'm back. I catch my hands. It's just really funny. And then having the bandages on my hands for like majority of the rest of the day. It's really funny. God, yeah, I'm so happy I got my crushed hands. Like, it sounds very dumb, but like, it's fun. It's neat.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was 100% worth it. It was hilarious.
That's what you're there for.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a bunch of fun stuff this summit. Yeah, Daniel, what about you? What do you got?
Ooh, it's so much. I guess one of my favourite things was one of those quiet moments in the battle, which was strung out over a long front line. And this is the first conflux when we were rescuing the spies. And it was only supposed to be a 100-meter distance, but it was closer to 200, I think. And I looked up and down the line, and it was like we were stretched out, but we were still doing well. And then there's that moment of clarity where you can actually look around, and as Field Marshal, that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. And then I happen to look up, and I see Alex in Bleed Out, who's our ego. And I was like, oh, shit. And he's a good fighter, and he's down. And then being able to fight my way through to him with the help of a couple of the green wielders, I don't even know who it was, but I got pushed back twice, and I get to him, and he's going 33, 34, 2 minutes 35, 2 minutes 36, and it was like an oh shit moment. I managed to get him healed, which was great. Only for him to die in the next conflux, which I wasn't in because I was actually dead. So that was actually quite traumatic on some levels. Like I was even offered to go in and be an NPC for the fight where the Iron Valley lost 50% of their people. And that was not, I couldn't do that. I was just like, no, there's no way, it's too soon. I can't go back in there and strike my own people. It's just not going to happen. But I think I missed a lot of good role play in that, but you know, that's fine. But I think that was probably my most, my favorite part of that. And then having people cry over my dead body, that was kind of cool too.
I was going to ask, how was the funeral?
Literally in front of me as well.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I just said thanks for dropping dead literally half a meter in front of me.
Well, it kind of had to be done. It was
What else?
because of my inexperience. It was like I didn't sort of fully understand the role play around being terminal, and I probably should have been a little bit quieter and on death's door than I was. But then once I realised, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to die now. And it just so happened that Lon was sitting there and my head almost landed in a lap, which was great.
I love the eternal thought of like, oh, I guess I better not die now. With the same thing of like Poochie from The Simpsons, like, I must go, my people need me. Blah.
That's it, 100%. And then I had this bit of ongoing role play with Tali where my character would be flirting with her outrageously, even though I'm old enough to be a father. And I'm on death's door, and I'd be quiet for a little bit, and I just piped up and I said, "Bury me next to," and yeah, it was very, very funny. Yeah, it was very, very funny. I think Lon's still holding that one against me.
I will for a while. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Love.
It was a lot of fun though. It was good. Yeah, and the death role play was great fun. I enjoyed that a lot. That's me.
Fair enough.
Last moments were traumatizing Lon.
That's what I live for. That's what I live for, or died for.
It was like, hey, there's a funerary priest. I'm not going to give them a chance to say last rites. I'm just going to cark it. There you go. That'll annoy them.
I mean, look. Yeah. If anything, like, that's kind of giving me the further fuel of like, how do I want the hub to die? Like, what do I want that to look like? And I feel like I still want to do the whole, like, get fixed up so I can like kind of move on my own and like just like go into Senate, like having pre-requested the right of address, go into Senate, just give a speech, and then just like slowly be like kind of slumping mid-speech, and then just say the last bit and then just drop. Just like complete, like, I'm gonna say my last words, you're gonna hear it, and then I'm gonna die in front of you.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no recourse because I know Solar wanted to have words with me after the conflux, and I went and died on her, so she couldn't. So that was great.
Extreme way to avoid interacting with people, but okay.
Well, I know, right? Yeah, yeah. But I must say, sorry, I coming back. There is another favourite part of it. Is now that sort of favourite. It's like I get to reinvent myself with the new character. And with what I now know about LARP, it's an opportunity to come out of the gates full blast.
Yeah,
And I can be totally different. And that's, because it was like a very, very newbie, I didn't really know what I was doing. Whereas this time round, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I have more enthusiasm. So I can leap through there and have some fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good mentality to have, actually. That's great.
Well, that actually helped me with my bleed, was developing that new character quite quickly.
Yeah.
It took me about a week, and I was pretty bad for a week. But once I got through it, I was like, yep, okay, new character, let's get this rocking and rolling.
Gotcha. It's great. That's a great positive way to look at it, actually. Yeah, you know what? I'm taking that forward. Like, when it happens that I'm done with the current character, or their story is done, or they die, whatever, yeah, definitely. Because I'm already excited for my next character, but I think it's still going to be kind of heavy when the current one is done. But yeah, if anything, yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind of just, I've done this, now I get to kind of let everything off the chain for the next one and just like carry the energy forward. That's a great mentality.
Yeah, 100%. Like now I'm not a Reeve, which was a big part of my identity. But I was floundering. I mean, it was a really hard adjustment, I see, because we had Gwen step up into that role, which was great. I only inducted her into the warband that morning, and I was like, "What the heck?" And now, from a psychological perspective, I had to step back, and that was a bit of a challenge, I have to say. You know? Yeah.
Fair. Right. So on the flip side of this, and kind of before we do this, I want to kind of be clear. Like, this can be sort of in-game stuff, game stuff. Try to keep, like, you know, serious things. Let's kind of keep that one under wrap a little bit. But like, yeah, you know, let's kind of be free to sort of vent a little bit of stuff here. Like, what is a moment or a couple of moments that you really didn't like, or like you liked the least, I should say, for this past summit? Let's kind of reverse the order. Daniel, have you got anything you wanna fire out with?
The death toll in the valley, that really annoyed me when we lost 50% of our forces in a conflux. I was pissed at that, I have to say.
Yep.
I mean, it was addressed and I'm over it, but geez, I was annoyed. It was like, yeah.
This was against the bear cult, right?
That's it. Yeah. 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 That was hard to take. I've got to say, because it seemed like it was unwinnable. Afterwards, it was addressed, and we got spoken to about it, and that's fine. There was no agenda,
but it
was just it felt quite painful. It really did. And even though I was an OC essentially, I mean, I didn't have a character prepared, so I was just hanging out around the little striving. But just seeing it all go down, it was like, oh my gosh! And then these characters that I knew, and the trauma that they were going through, and those that didn't come back, it was like, holy shit! It was intense, I've got to say. But in hindsight now, yes, I can sort of see it, but it's still a bit raw. I'm expecting that the IC event on the 25th will be interesting. So,
are you hoping,
as we all relive it to an extent?
Yeah. Are you hoping that event will be sort of a nice, I guess, I don't want to say like bleeding of the wound. That's not really the right term, but like sort of a nice maybe bookend, or like a good healing moment for a lot of, especially a lot of like the Valley folk that have passed for player and character.
Yeah, sort of like a bit of closure.
Closure.
That last final step. And I think it will, because like I'm laughing about it a lot more, and I know Lon had a fair bit of trauma with me dying because she asked me to go to take the role of field marshal, and she felt sort of responsible on that level. So. Yeah, hopefully that those that are still carrying a little bit of the trauma over it and haven't quite dealt with it, I hope that helps them heal, the characters to heal. So, yeah, I hope so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have a lot myself. I mean, I'm annoyed I didn't get my brew sold over the summit like I wanted to. Like I sold a bunch of it near the end, by like rapidly jacking down my prices and getting help getting it sold. But like, it's one of those like, so I was an idiot for the training before the summit that I didn't bring. I printed out a bunch of flyers I was gonna put around the different tables and stuff at the training to like kind of get some interest in it going, and I forgot them at the training, so I was already very annoyed at that. And then I just didn't have time to put the flyers out around Passage. It's like I'm annoyed that all didn't go where I wanted it to. I still got money out of it, and I'm happy for that. That was just really annoying that was the case. I had a bunch of other stuff to do, admittedly, but still. The only other thing that I can think of that I wasn't I liked the least, that just kind of like run me the wrong way. I guess not getting, like, coming out of another day one of a summit for like all the title elections and not getting anything again. This like kind of hurt a bit. It didn't hurt enough for me not to keep doing it, as is evident. But it's still one of those, like, it very much kind of imposed, because like I've kind of got imposter syndrome a bit from like other stuff in my earlier life, so it's the case of it kind of exacerbated that a little more. Of like, what am I doing something wrong? Is it just me? Is there other stuff going on here? Like, I try not to get too much into my own head about that kind of thing, just because I know it is just my brain kind of inflicting it upon itself more than anything. But yeah, that was not great. I got over it like very quickly. Just because, again, I know it's not. I know it is just me worrying over stuff. But still, yeah. Caitlin, what do you got?
Yeah, just a big portion of day 2 with it did feel like a huge beatdown, and Greenwheel didn't even get it as hard as the Iron Valley, but yeah, the day started with us losing 5 people in the major conflux with Iron Valley. We did get a major victory, but at the cost of like so many of our veterans. We lost Saskia, who's been there since game 1, and not long after that, we ended up losing the Baron. In fact, it was right before I was about to be sworn in as High Priest. One of the Green Wielders came up to me and whispered in my ear, "Come to Green Wielder as soon as you can. The Baron is dead." And it was like, what the fuck? So yeah, and then we lost 2 people in the Rotten Pelt conflux. So it did feel like a constant beatdown. to the point where it was like, oh god, how are we going to get through tonight? Because we did have we also had a conflux that night where it had to be all hounds priests, and we didn't even have 10, and it did feel very draining at times, to the point where it was like, oh god, how are we going to get through this weekend? Are we going to be emotionally able to get through this? And I think that the storytellers did sense that too, because they did approach us and ask, how morale doing, how are you guys feeling after 2 summits and losing your goddamn Baron? And that was another thing, as soon as Gilbert passed, it felt very much like Greenwild had massively changed, which is a good thing in some ways. This summit especially, we've gained a lot of new people to Concord, and have especially the Greenwield, and they're very enthusiastic, and I love them all. And it was really great seeing the new Baron in action, Valentine. Valentine is amazing. I do not know how the hell he has the ability to be senator on his very first summit, but kudos, man. Fucking kudos. But yeah, I remember there being, I mean, this isn't really a bad thing, but yeah, just this sense of that Greenwild was suddenly, Greenwild was changing, and we had lost so many people, so many of the people who were originally there. So there was just that bittersweet moment. But yeah, losing so many people on that second day was big to us. And yeah, there were times where I was like, I need a break. I need a break, please.
Definitely. Yeah, I was very sad and also kind of annoyed at hearing the Baron's passing. I was like,
I was pissed.
I was like, it's like, damn it, I liked him, and I just gave him money as my what is become now my tradition for giving money to the Greenwield. It's like,
okay, so no, don't take money from you, otherwise you will die.
No, that is not the takeaway. Well, I mean, kind of is, because the person I gave the money to on the past winter summit to start it was Saskia, who was the previous Baron that took it to the new Baron, and they're both dead. So it might be a little causality there, maybe.
You know, a pariah. No one wants your money.
My money is good.
Your money kills
God.
people. Money.
No, again with the panoply influence. Damn it, that makes sense. Oh
Full
no.
skull proceeding good tonight, boys.
Oh no, don't ever accept money from me ever. It seems. No.
But yeah, this summit in particular, we lost a lot of players who had been there, at least for as long as I remember, but that's not saying, my first summit was the third one, and but my first real one was Summit 4, so I feel like this summit made me feel like I had become a lot more of a, not a veteran, but someone who was now a part of the Greenwield for a new generation. So, but yeah, I remember talking to Dylan, Valric, because there are 3 Dylans in the Greenwield, and yeah, for a moment he was like, oh god, am I the last survivor of the OG Greenwielders? So, we still have Ludwig, we still have Kaela, but Kaea, I can't pronounce her name. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. But yeah, so that was one of my big kind of feels. Just it was pretty bittersweet, and but yeah. I swear I had a point. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Oh
it's
yeah,
okay.
Gilbert dying.
There's a lot going on. Also, Brenser, you shut up. Don't you ever call me that. Calling me the debt reckoner. Real debt reckoner.
Bullying on stream.
No, don't call me out like that. That's not cool. That's not cool.
I mean, you wanted hot takes. We got the hot take.
That's not a hot take. That's just mean. I stayed away from the Debt Reckoner. I told people to stay away from the Debt Reckoner. I had intelligence.
Wow.
Yeah, you want a hot take? There's a real hot take. Don't fuck with the damn thing. Leave it alone. Let it spook around for a bit and then let it leave. But no. People had to go poke the beehive made of death.
But yeah, it was sad to see Gilbert die, especially like so soon after like Saskia went into terminal and we had just lost 5 people and none of us were like ready for that either. But yeah, I don't know if Will be hearing the stream, but Will, did you have to die like right as I was getting sworn in? But really?
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, the Saskia thing kind of hit me as well, because like hearing that she was terminal and then asking someone like, hey, can you do me a favor? If you spot her, can you like send her over to the hospital? I would like to say goodbye. And I got to do that as I was being looked at. I was numb during it. Like, I didn't know how to feel. It was like, I'm already dealing with a thing that's stressful. And then there's this I want to hug you, but like I'm currently having my back looked at. So like, damn it. This is really sad.
My spine is broken, so I cannot give you a hug.
Yeah, that was really the worst part, is like, I want to hug you, but I can't, because if I move, I'm gonna scream in pain. Damn it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Charlie's new character next summit, and yeah, I'm excited to see what people are doing going forward. But yeah, it was a stressful time. Day 2 was just stress overload.
Definitely.
But I'm glad that the storytellers did like think to check in on us and go, hey guys, like, how are you doing? Like, we have things this evening. How, like, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, that's really, really
shout out
good.
to the storytellers for considering us.
Yeah. Scott, what do you got, buddy?
Mine is more of a cautionary tale. It's make sure you drink some damn water and eat some damn food, kids, because otherwise you're about to go into Senate to like speak on behalf of an important organization such as the hospital, and then almost fall over.
Oh no!
Unconscious.
Oh, scheisse.
So yeah, always eat your food. Always drink your water. If you can, try to find someone that can remind you if you're very forgetful, like myself. Please do it, especially our title holders. Please do it.
Fine.
There's nothing worse, or I can think of a few things worse than being about to do something important as your character and then being limited by the fact that you are literally about to fall over in real life because you haven't taken care of yourself. So please do that. And thank you to the people that very quickly found me a chair on the first night.
God, fuck, that's spooky. I did not hear about this. That's good lord. Yeah, I definitely upped my hydration game this summit, like carrying around a couple of like 500ml, 600ml water bottles just to crack open and drink at periodic times, carrying around some muesli bars in my bag, just little things like that. Carrying it around, like, yes, 100% you can get locked into game brain and then just forget to sustenance. Oh god, that sucks. I'm really sad to hear that. That's awful.
I mean, you can do what I did this game and make sure that everyone else around you has put sun cream on and eaten and drank and even bought other people food, including food for yourself, which you've promptly left somewhere. And then not do any of the things that you've told other people to do. So I was dehydrated and sunburned, but everyone else around me wasn't, so that was good.
You went into mum mode.
Yep.
Lord. Yeah, was there, so beyond hydration and lack of eating food, was there anything else? Or do you feel like your game was kind of solid?
I actually had a pretty good game apart from that. I can't say personally that I had any major issue with anything. Yeah.
Excellent.
Victor's had a surprisingly chill time apart from the fact that he had to do all that shit for the hospital.
Fair enough. Right, Lon. What do you got?
Oh, lordy.
A bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't have anything that actively made my game not good. I still thoroughly enjoyed the game and everything that it brought. I'm kind of going to echo what Dan said and what Caitlin said a bit in what they've brought up, but let's just go straight to the pointy clawed bear clan rotten pelt conflux. So I'd been thinking about that quite a bit going into Summit, knowing that champion was my main goal for Summit. So thinking about, because knowing that I would be in charge of that if I did get champion, who I'd bring, what our game plan would be. And that got thrown out the window as soon as I saw who didn't come back from the strategic. A lot of the Valley's veteran warriors, good warriors, and more importantly, shield users
Oh god.
didn't come back. So a lot of the squad that we did take into the Rotten Pelt Conflux was there wasn't as many frontline fighters as I had originally planned, and a lot of the people were not as battle hardened as the people that I had planned as well. In saying that, the people that did go, I've looked over videos and I've talked to a few people about what happened there. We fought phenomenally, all things considered. And the fact that any of us got out of there was a miracle. So, small wins, but there was also very much a lack of information on what we were facing as well, and that was intended by the STs. But we didn't know very much at all. We didn't know what we were fighting, where we were facing up, anything like that. So trying to plan around a lot of unknowns was quite stressful as well. So yeah, and also a lot of my in-character best friends didn't come back, which was hard as well. So yeah, a lot of survivor's guilt from both that conflux and the first one, because I had to get recalled out of both confluxes. So I've got a couple of life debts now, so that's always fun. Yeah, a lot of shifting around the valley in terms of, because of the people that we did lose, there were lots of old, loud, main character of the valley sort of people that didn't come back. So our
reading into sentence, Harleg.
Yeah, Harleg, our ego, Kenred didn't come back, Solar, like lots of big personalities that everyone knew that are not in the valley anymore. Another thing that's very stereotypically valley is a shield wall. We don't have that anymore. We are more mages than shield users currently, which is going to be interesting to plan around if I do get champion next game as well. So, yeah, so I guess the TLDR was planning and going through with mainly that second conflux was a lot. Yeah, I did have something else I wanted to bring up, but brain is smooth.
It's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll probably remember it after this, and I'll be like, damn it, I should have said that. But yeah,
It's all good.
It's always the way.
Yeah. So now that we're about 3 weeks past the summit, How are we feeling now? Kind of because everything sort of happened. The dust has had time to settle. What are we thinking with how things are at the moment? Caitlin, you want to start us off here?
Okay. I was expecting a lot more bleed than I ended up getting. But well, maybe I'm still yet to get it. But but yeah, I'm feeling weirdly good going forward. Like I feel like Rook is in a good place. Like I'm excited to see what kind of things I'll get to do during my time as High Priest. And I'm excited for the Greenfield going forward as well. Like I said before, we have a lot of new players who are now in, and they're bringing new things in. Like things are changing. That there's a lot of new content for us to explore, and I'm cautiously optimistic because like something will go wrong. I just know it, but
that's a
we're
given.
surrounded by a lot of good people, and I know that if something does go wrong, like we'll be able to handle it together.
I think that's a really positive attitude to have. Excellent.
Cautiously optimistic. Emphasis on the cautiously.
Like a true green builder.
Yeah. All right. Scott, what are we thinking?
Well, for starters, bye-bye hospital, welcome. Bye-bye hospital tent, welcome hospital building, which is hopefully going to be getting in the works before the new year. I really hope it's in the works before the new year, otherwise we probably will run out of time. Actually, in fact, one of the people that is going to hopefully help me on this project, at least a little, is Daniel. At least a little.
Yeah. I'm already drawing one up for Volsa. A building of that size, I think you're going to need engineering approval, and that may take longer than you anticipate. We'll see, though. Happy to help.
See. Yeah, but we're looking forward to that. The next step will be funding. Because projects like that do not build themselves, and definitely can't be funded by individuals. We'll say that much.
Not a small number, no. But hey, Project Claw, he's hoping.
Yes.
But we'll more on that at a later date.
Pretty much all I've been thinking about since the end of Summit is how to get the new hospital up and running before next Summit.
What are your thoughts on Lorona Mere as it is now?
Well, I made 2 votes yesterday. One was, obviously, everyone was aware about that one. But the other one was in the downtime for Lorona Mere specifically was the Viva la Revolution or Long Live the Parliament. And I hope that all Lorona Merians use their democratic right to vote to take part in that during their downtime. If they submit it on time, that is.
I love the fact that you're not necessarily pushing one side or the other. Just like, make sure you vote.
I am a very neutral party in that vote, I will admit.
Yeah.
I personally didn't have much sway in either direction, so my decision was entirely based on feeling rather than facts.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Lon, thoughts?
Regarding kind of post-summit vibes, anyone that has much to do with me and Revna knows that I had a tough bleed. the week or so after Summit. I had to go straight back to work, and trying to segment me and Revna was hard, to the point where because me and my fiance are getting married in a few weeks, so we're doing dance practice, and he thought he'd done something wrong because I was doing my Revna resting bitch face scowl just naturally.
Oh no!
And he kept asking me if he'd done something wrong or was I angry, and I'm like, no, I'm fine, what's happened? And yeah, it took me a few minutes to realise that I was just looking real grumpy, because that's what Revna does, and I was still in that mode, so that was funny. But as much as I'm still less and less so, but still getting little moments here and there where I get the survivor's guilt and all of that came with that bleed. And there's been lots of people that did check in on me as well, including some of the STs, which I was really appreciative of. Yeah, I know how to speak English.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, so that was hard, but it's also invoked lots of creative passion. I've written quite a few songs, a couple which have made people cry, which is always quite satisfying and makes me want to write more. So I will slowly feed them into the Concord server, so keep your eyes peeled. I've also literally just before this podcast went live finished a little memorial sash of all the Viper sigils of the people that aren't Vipers anymore because they died. So there's
Vipers in death.
Yeah.
So,
it's bad, but lots of creative energy that's come from that as well.
I feel like whoever the Reeve, like assuming the Vipers continue, like I would like, as morbid as this sounds, the idea of like the Reeve of the Vipers has to wear the sash, and every time the Viper passes, their sigil gets added to it.
That's the plan. Yeah. I've made it so it can be taken apart and reorganized and added to. So
awesome.
It's currently got room for one more, which I don't plan on.
It sounds like a less
soon, and then I can expand it as well. So, and yeah, it will be passed on to whoever the next Reeve is when Revna is no more. So.
It sounds like a less morbid version of Saskia, like writing the wielders that she's lost during her time in the Wield, like on her arm.
Yeah, it's kind of cool as well because I'm kind of going in. So my character. So from this summit just gone, me and Sam Bush Jones, who plays Kenwolf, we're both doing a kind of Ash Priest thing because we both kind of like the Huskell vibe, the Huskell archetype from the Valley, but we're both mages, so it doesn't really fit. So we're going along, instead of bringing the Fallen back, which is very Huskell-y, we do the funerary rites after, so we both have fire as a spell. So it's very much like burning pyres and keeping the ashes. So it's kind of, and some of the Viper sashes got used in character at Summit for a ceremony. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a Lumos one, so they got burnt. So it's very much like I've got the ashes of those now as well, which is kind of bittersweet. But yeah. I
was going to say, because the sash kind of makes me think of, is it the Graver archetype for the Iron Valley that wears like the banner of like fallen
that's
like
the Huskell.
It is the Huskell. Sorry, I get those two confused all the time.
The Gravers carry the skulls.
Gotcha. Yeah, sick. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that was the first thing that popped into my head of like, oh, it's the archetype thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, because my character I re-rolled after my first summit, but I was originally a Huskell, and also because my character was very close to General Thorn, who was very much a Huskell, like he wore his banner cloak around, and I've kind of, and I feel like it's also kind of very much a Valley thing to keep tokens of people that are close to you as well. Like you don't need to be a Huskell to do that, so I've very much taken those sorts of aspects on as well. So it's kind of, I've been joking that I need a new, like another belt for all of the different trinkets and things that I've got on it. And then I've actually had Jason Barrett make me a belt that he's stamped with little snake scale patterns all the way down
cool.
it. So it's like, here's another one. Here's all your dead friends in a belt. So yeah,
It's your
it's
dead friend snake belt.
yeah. So
You save the skins especially.
So yeah, I'm just gathering little bits and bobs that all have a meaning. Like if you ever come up to Revna at any point and be like, "What's this?" It will have a story behind it. Like pick any part of my kit, basically.
Awesome. It's really cool.
So,
I really like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Daniel, with your unique position, how are you feeling? What are you thinking right now?
I'm pretty excited, actually. I see amazing opportunity within the Valley. We're all about gender equity in the Valley, and I think most of the Rees are now female, which should put a different slant on things. There was already comments about, well, the councils go a lot faster now, which is great. And I just actually see it as a wonderful opportunity as for the players that don't have the experience to step up and actually take control and change things. Right, so where it's going to go. And I'm just focusing on my little bit as being a part of a warband and enjoying that. It gives me freedom to do all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
I'm quite excited.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It definitely seems to be the vibe. Comments in chat about, like, having all so many like big personalities across the Concord, having passed, does sort of open other doors to like the sort of the lower down the rung, as it were, to sort of make their way up and sort of start making schmoves around to do some stuff.
100%.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm happy I'm not dead. Or character's not dead, I should say.
Same.
Yeah, I genuinely expected, like, at start of Summit, like, Warren, who's one of the two STs as part of the Shard Circle, was basically gonna come and get me, give me a piece of paper, or like, be told, oh, you gotta go to God to get your thing, of like, here's your checklist of the stuff you need to do, or you're dead. And that's not what happened. And even more, Warren, like, I'm convinced he did it on purpose. I don't care if he says he didn't. He was like walking by before game in. Like, I heard him, he came over, we just like had a bit of a chat. Game in got called, and it's like, oh, I gotta go do my elections. He's like, oh, I'll walk you over. I'm like, are we not doing the thing? He's like, no, we'll get to that later. Like, you asshole. It's like, all right, I guess I'll live with the fear. But yeah, having all of it done, and that now, like, this is going to be, like, I have a continuing story with this now, which is interesting. That's got some interesting developments that I know out of character and I don't know in character. That I may or may not learn about at some point. I hope I learn, because it's interesting and it would be thought-provoking for the character. But yeah, there's like the Andash stuff that's going on is also super interesting. Like, Andash is going in sort of a, I don't know. Andash is weird because I'm not super involved in a lot of the realm. At least not directly. I'm kind of on the periphery, just doing stuff. It seems like it's going in an interesting direction, and the Concord as a whole is also going in an interesting direction overall. But it feels like after this summit, I could definitely say this has been the broken year, but it almost feels like like a really big burst of growing pain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like it really feels like, thinking about it now, it kind of feels clean.
Yeah, not to get all preachy, but I mean, like, a big part of, like, change is the fact that things do break down and do have to, well, I mean, like, in Anarch, they have the Crucible about, like, yes, thank you, to struggle is divine, thank you.
Yeah, it definitely, I was going to bring up Anarch. Actually, yeah, it's the Crucible coming in and smashing it, and then it's the Phoenix being born from the ashes to reach the peak again, kind of vibe.
I have just finished art of some of the, well, all of the Crucible Eternals. I'll show you after stream, but yeah. So I've done my research, and yeah, like, yeah, the fact that it's all about, like, how, yeah, things need to be destroyed before they can be rebuilt into something new. That was definitely the impression I had of how things would be going for the Broken Year, but at the same time, it was like, this is gonna hurt still.
Yeah. And it still does hurt kind of afterwards, like having sort of floated around through the summit and like sort of ambiently feeling everyone's pain a bit, whilst dealing with my own stuff. And also the legitimate worry of like, two of the characters, one especially that my character is close with, that were like in-game brothers, the legitimate worry of like, is he gonna die, was kind of on my mind sitting in the back, but I like in character purposefully put that up on a mental shelf and tried not to think about it, because as a player that was going to be a hell of a thing to deal with, because like with how that summit was, with the energy going on, I probably would have broken down, which would have been great from a roleplay perspective, but like I'm very glad that's not something I need to do yet. Yeah, it is. Oh, this year has been heavy. The Winter Summit was heavy with the losses and betrayals and everything going on, and then this summit just being an absolute roller coaster of everything. Oh yeah, there was a lot. But again, I still say it still feels, to me, it feels clean. You know, like we've got the ointment on the wound and we've sort of bled out the poison in a way. Like, that sounds really bad kind of in terms of implications, but like it's that kind of good, it's that good hurt of it feels like things are on the mend now that we're sort of, in theory, past the really heavy stuff. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
Yeah. Like a rebirth.
Yeah, we don't know what next year's going to bring, which is terrifying, considering where we're sitting. We have the worry of whether or not we've thrown enough forces and done enough damage to the Onyx aristocracy's forces with the war in Wayland. There's the Ilsevere situation that still exists. There's the Laronimarian situation that exists. There's the stuff with the stuff in Andash that's a big thing. There's all the things going on in Greenweald that's terrifying on different levels.
Yeah, Greenweald in general is just terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, even before you get to the monsters.
Yeah. So it's one of those, like a lot of summits, we don't know really where things stand per se at the moment. It's sort of, we've lined up all the marbles on the different tracks. We've clicked go, and right now it's just, we're letting them roll, and we just don't know where they're gonna land. What has been said now?
Concord year 224, the mega broken year.
Broken Year 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
I can't deal. Like, the valley would just cease to exist.
Concord year 224, pastor on the wall.
all of the green wielders just turn into monsters. We have become the monsters.
Please no.
Concord year 224. Oh god, the door's locked. Where are my keys?
Hopefully I'm locked on the safe side of the door.
I mean, who knows what side is safe? That's why you need the keys.
Hold the door. Hold the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's the current gut thought? I guess we'll do a last little quick thing. Anyone got anything they want to bring up? I think is worth talking about that we can kind of go over. Absolutely speak up. 100%. We're kind of at that point now.
Yes, I'll speak up. So I guess lots has been said about changing voices in the Concord, especially the Weald and the Valley. There are people who have been quiet or, letting other people that seem to know what they're talking about, or sometimes they might even know what they're talking about, take the lead and lead our respective realms and the Concord in a large capacity. And I guess I'm one of those people. I've seemingly gone from someone that just followed orders and I wasn't particularly quiet, but I certainly wasn't any sort of figure as far as I'm aware, to now having people tell me that Revna is someone that they look up to as guidance in the Valley, which is fucking scary. Stop doing that, guys.
I know, right?
Like, it's
like Rook being seen as an authority figure. It's scary.
Yeah, who gave us responsibility? Stop it.
I know, we're babies.
We're just
more
small.
the point of like when you're like running around like a tornado of spaghetti, and it's like, you did this, you chose this, you did this.
It's roughly
giant spaghetti monsters with authority.
it's roughly on par with giving the King of the Clowns a title.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it feels like. But I guess.
Thanks, Jenny, for that title.
Actual role next summit, please.
But yeah, so
we have a lot of clowns
who...
in the Concord. Sorry, I'll let you go. I'll let you continue, Lon. I'm sorry.
Good. I'm just thinking of the fucking jingle clowns from Laura and Mare.
Yep.
We lost one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sag.
But yeah, for those people who are, quieter, maybe new to LARP, if you're wanting to step up and become someone notable or, look for those leadership roles, now is a bloody fantastic time to do it. Everything's changing. There's a whole heap of new opportunities and roles to fill. So please don't leave it to us. Please step up.
Step up, 100%.
And I guess because I've talked about my slithery children enough, I guess my closing statement is akin to what I've just said, that when a snake sheds its skin, it's ultimately still the same snake, just with fresh scales. So just because a lot of the people that have been seen as the heart and soul of the Valley, in my instance, are gone, we're not something else now. We're still the Valley. We're just different. So, we still do the same stuff and we still think the same way and we still stand for the same thing. It's just got a different vibe now.
I'm sorry to be chuckling through that, because I agree entirely, but I can't get over my slithery children. This is really funny.
That was started by Brendan, who played Yorm. We get a "Hello, my slithery children" post in the Vipers chat every summit. So,
beautiful.
It's the hissy babies.
Yeah. So also, if you're in the Valley and you're new and you want a warband, come talk.
They're looking for adoptions.
If you want to be one of my slithery children as well, I will welcome you with open arms.
It's really funny. Has anyone else got any thoughts I want to throw out? Floor's open.
I have I have letters to write,
Uh-huh.
a lot of people to talk to,
Uh-huh.
and a lot to learn as well. I know that there's a lot that I'll never get around to knowing as Rook, but there's Rook's learnt things, and she needs to get that information to the right people. Because looking at the downtime events, it's like, oh, okay, maybe who do I communicate this to? I guess whatever basic advice for anyone who is looking at coming to Concord for the first time, as usual, definitely talk to us title holders, because chances are we will need someone to help with it, and it's a great way to get experience in the Concord and figure out what you are interested in potentially getting involved in. Just basic,
Absolutely. I agree entirely. That was part of my sort of thing as well for speaking to the wielder. That was a little dejected about not getting High Historian. Was encouraging to kind of go kind of seeing what they're about, and they've definitely got an inquisitive mind. They definitely got a mind for this sort of thing. So I
think I might know the one.
Yeah, you definitely do. Had a lot of fun chats. They were an excellent source of information for me. Because
that sounds so evil the way you say it.
I know. That's half intentional.
Okay, that was intentional.
It's half intentional.
Okay.
It's half intentional. I'm only malicious to the people that deserve it.
Okay.
I know which side to stay on then. Not your bad one.
That's fair. We'll see. Talks will be had at a later point. There's always for new players, especially if you got anxiety, you're just really nervous, don't be afraid to try and attach yourself to sort of a title holder, or someone that is a bit more of a big personality, or in a group, just to kind of give you that kind of rock to sort of wash up on when you need to. Everyone's going to understand if you're getting super overwhelmed, and you need to take a break for a second. Everyone understands. Don't worry about that. Turn up, do as much as you are able, and that's really all's that you can do. Just as much as you can. That's it. It's a big game. There's a lot going on.
I can only speak if that's the only realm I've been in, but we have roles called Wittens, which are basically little secretaries to our title holders. So you don't have to have one as a title holder, but it's great for people who are new or wanting to try out something different, where they can experience what it's like to do a role without the responsibility. And as a title holder, Wittens are awesome. You can give them little tidbits of work to do, which is less stuff for you to do and less stuff for you to stress about. So it kind of works both ways. So I'm sure the realms have other, whether they're official, have names or anything. But buddy yourself up with someone who does have a title, and because they're going to get a lot out of it, as well as you getting stuff out of it. So sorry to interrupt.
No, absolutely no. No, that's a good information to put forward. Right, so I will quickly comment on the triple dipple, because I need to. The triple dipple was the best thing to happen at Concord Summer Summit 2023. I want the triple dipple to come back. That was worth the money, 100%. I tried, I think, a couple of different drinks at the Wandering Inn this game, and the third was the triple dipple, which is the mixture of the three different things on offer. It was amazing. All those three drinks blended together, it was actually incredible. All the flavors mixed perfectly. I don't know what they did to get the foam on it that it did, but the foam was really thick, very rich, and weirdly perfumed. I don't know what happened. I was actually a little concerned, did someone put washing liquid, like a whole heap of washing liquid in this, and I'm like drinking poison? Like, what is going on here? It was really kind of cool and wild. Triple dipple, absolutely amazing. Love triple dipple. I will take that any day of the week. It's good stuff. I'm sad I didn't go to the bill hook and try the duck. For everything I've heard, the duck was amazing. Little Shriving too. I need to go to Little Shriving. Like, I got so many places I need to go.
I went to the Billhook once, and Sheriff Newcastle, or Emlyn, basically told a whole heap of racist Iron Valley jokes, so I left.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, we're good friends out of character, so it was cool, but I'm just like, yeah, fuck you too, man.
It's fucking brutal.
One thing I would like I just remembered, yeah, two new characters will be coming to next summit. We'll be having a bakery in the group. So
Yeah, I've heard about this. Super excited.
Yeah, our baker hounds priests. So look, yeah, definitely keep an eye out for them.
The baker priests. That's really.
Cottagecore hounds priests.
That's so good. What do you know what C is?
I know that the husband is Anarch. I think that Charlie is gonna be Arcadian.
Okay.
Because her whole thing's gonna be like overcoming her fears and like trying to be brave, which is
Awesome.
gonna be fucking adorable.
That's great. I get behind like having like championing or going forward with a sphere to like self-improvement stuff. 100%. That's awesome.
Bravery buns.
Baker priests. That is the best. I love that. It's so weird. It's awesome. Yeah, Daniel, Scott, any thoughts?
Ooh. No, nothing from me. I'm just lots to do, and it's going to be fun.
I don't necessarily have anything to add.
Fair enough then. Just seeing if chat's got anything lying around.
Apart from coming up with worse names for next year.
Yeah, broken year. No, but even more broken. No, seriously, we really mean it this time.
I like the one that Brent came up with, which is the very good time when nobody dies. Where nobody you love dies. That one's good.
Specifically, nobody you love.
Concordian year 2024. The bogus journey. Oh, this has been good. This has been a good chat. I genuinely feel a lot better after doing this. Just sort of like throwing my brain back into Concord for a second and just sort of like, kind of like wringing out a dish rag, soaked dish rag, just like get some other stuff out of my head.
Can someone just mute Tim in chat because it's making me nervous?
No, he's not doing anything against terms of service. He's fine.
Tim,
Making
what you
long
doing,
nervous
Tim?
against terms of service. Don't like it.
What you got there, Tim? Knife!
No.
Concord 2024 classified. It's really funny. Actually, I am kind of hoping that next year has like a cool title as well.
Scandalous. Yeah, this was like was this the first year that which came with a cool title or a ominous title?
Like a banner change for the Concord as well. It's very cool. So I'm curious to see if they're like going to be themed going
I want
forward.
sunshine and rainbows on the 24th page.
Yeah, but like, and then have like bees flying around, but have them look like they're made of bone.
Oh.
Like hide like little imagery in stuff like that. That's the best stuff of like, you're looking like, oh, this looks so happy. What is that? What is that thing in the background behind stuff? Why are
I
those
love
pictures
how
on those
just
bees?
a single bee is enough to make all of
Not
the
the
mages
bees.
in Concord nervous.
Not the bees. Oh, I swear, if I ever get bees in the bone, that is going to be what I'm going to scream. Is like, not the bees, not the bees.
Motherfucker.
I like
I look
bees.
forward
damn
to you
it.
being my next patient.
Oh yeah, no. If there's something I want for few summits for myself, is like I want more spiritual wounds and traumatic wounds. Like they're fun. I've had 2, and I want more. Just fun.
Challenge accepted.
Out of, I do have something to say now.
Yeah, go
because
for it.
of out of character to everyone in chat and in the greater Concord. If you ever get bees on the bones, please see Victor about it. To everyone in character, don't. That is it.
Just don't.
Oh, just like rule 1. Don't. It's really good. Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you all.
I
Go
feel like
ahead,
Tim's comment was specifically aimed at Greenwield.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Good lord.
Oh,
That's brutal. Alright. Yeah. I reckon that's a good one done. We're pretty much sitting on time. It's excellent. Yeah, thank you all so much for jumping on this. I really do appreciate it.
For having us.
No
It's been awesome
problem.
fun.
Had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And I hope that everyone that's watched thus far, that is still here, or that's like jumped in partway through, has also enjoyed it. I'll get this up onto YouTube as quickly as I can. But the VOD will be here for a week, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Can't wait to hear the sound of my own voice.
Yeah, no,
everyone
no.
loves hearing the sound of their own voice.
I only ever go back and check these out to make sure there's no like audio screw ups that are like egregious. That's the only time. Otherwise, or funny joke. Otherwise, I'm like, no, I don't need to rewatch my own content. I lived it. That's enough. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching this. If you're watching this back on YouTube, absolutely feel free to hit the subscribe button. It's entirely free. There's no downside to doing it. You can turn on notifications if you like. You don't have to. Liking stuff, liking the videos, dropping comments, subscribing, things like that. And here on Twitch as well, hitting follow, like these sort of things like that. Thank you very much. These are like good little, like the number goes up, makes my lizard brain do a happy little dance. That's a great way of showing support, not just watching. Like watching is massive in and of itself, but doing all those little things seem like little things. It's like, all right, that does a lot. Not so much algorithm stuff, that doesn't really matter too much to me. It's more, it shows, like, it's a way of showing support. It makes the numbers go up. It makes me feel good knowing that this is actually like doing something. Because I really do enjoy doing this. I love hearing people's stories. I love hearing people's opinions and positions on stuff. I got a lot of stuff I want to do. I want to get a logo done for this. I've got ideas. I need to reach out to some artists. I've got some other things I would like to do, pulling some people on, do some stuff. I've got short form content I really want to do. It's going to be very punchy and very comedic. We'll see how that goes. And I would like next year to try, assuming my gear can handle it, to maybe try and do a live stream episode or just a hangout on the Friday before, a day before a summit, and just sit down, kick it off live, because we've got great internet service down there, or cell service. So I've got plenty of data to do it with. So doing something like that could also be very fun.
Yep.
Yeah. With that, I'm gonna hit the big red button that says goodbye. Because that's just done. It's late. I'm getting a little tired. Sleep would be good. I might also have a bit of a late snack, but we'll see. With that is Wanderer's Guide to Esterra, number 15. Aftermath of Summer Summit 2023. Dunzo, broken year over. Please. Concord team, no more. Leave us alone. It's done. Stop.
We want the beach episode.
Yeah, give us the beach episode. Wait, is the New Year's event not the beach
Without
episode?
the Elsevier, please.
Without
No,
the
but no one's rocking around in
Beach
bikinis.
episode, but there's Elsevier in the water.
like Elsevier, like tiny Elsevier tadpole in bikini.
Ah!
Like it's just
Nightmare
it's
inducing.
just a tadpole, like a normal tadpole wearing a bikini.
Why?
Why is that image now in my mind?
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
Look, it's what I do. I'm the guy that made Elsevier pickle a thing. All right.
Apparently, beach
Excuse me?
episode sanctioned events can be submitted at concordplot@gmail.com if anyone interested.
Oh, that'd be
Get on it,
great,
Greenwheel.
actually. Yeah, like
Greenwheel.
actually.
You know what to do.
Yeah, like and Ash just doing
Yeah,
a
everyone
beach
shows up
episode.
to the hunt in bikinis and speedos.
Mm-hmm. Get the like World of Warcraft classic of like the chainmail bikinis and such. It's just absolutely
that's,
ridiculous.
Board of Us vibes. So if they're gonna wear beach wear, it's gonna be chain and plate.
All right. We'll catch you all later, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.